Shalom, family, and welcome once again to Just a Word Shorts, as we are here for another short video. And today we want to look at the topic Hebrew Israelite versus the way. It might sound like a strange topic, but please do not run from this one. This is very, very revealing because we want to tell people that we are in an awakening. And in this awakening, everywhere the Most High's word goes, deception goes with it. The devil, Belial, Satan, whatever you want to call him, Azazel, whatever you want to call him, makes himself present everywhere we go. So in this awakening, there is a big deception. If you have been called to the way and you have been awakened, and you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, you are walking as a Hebrew Israelite, trust me, that is error. Trust me. But I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that to be Hebrew is wrong, to be an awakening as Israelites is wrong. But the religion called the Hebrew Israelites, that is an error. We did a video earlier showing the error, the Hebrew Israelite law error. This is kind of a part 2 that kind of goes aligned with it, because we were not called to be Hebrew Israelites. We were not called to but let me just be more specific anyway. There is no such thing as a Hebrew Israelite. All Hebrews are Israelites and all Israelites are Hebrews. No other nation, don't let anyone fool you. People are saying, oh, they are the descendants of Abraham, so they are Hebrews. That is not the case. To get an understanding of that, you need to check our website, justaword.org, for who are the Hebrews today. That will give you a detailed explanation and prove to you that Israelites are Hebrews and Hebrews are Israelites, and there's no nation, no Ishmaelite, no Edomite, no one else who are Hebrews, okay? So to say Hebrew Israelites is saying the same thing twice. I am a Hebrew. I am also an Israelite. I am not a Hebrew Israelite, all right? But that aside, let's go into the meat of the matter, that which we want to say. It's so hard to say these things in a few words, but let's go. Let's begin. First of all, we must understand that there will be a small remnant that shall be saved. A small remnant. And the Apostle Shaul spoke about it in the book of Romans chapter 9. He says, Isaiah also cried concerning Yasharal, though the number of the children of Yasharal be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. Or he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will Yahuwah make upon the earth. And as Isaiah saith before, except Yahuwah Sabaoth had left us a seed, we had been as Sodom and been like unto Gomorrah. So what it's saying here, it's a small remnant that shall be saved. What do we have in this awakening? We have a large amount of people awakening as to who they are. A huge mass of people all over the world that are going to awaken. But though they be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. So a whole lot of them are going to awaken to religion. I need to do a video on religion, because when I speak of religion, people might not understand what I'm talking about. I need to get into it more clearly. Religion is the traditions of men when people set things and standard based on whatever source of scripture they have, and they say, do this and you are good. Because what is the difference? We are not called to do that. We are not called to religion. We are called to a way. A way is different from religion. Hebrew Israelite is a religion. When you ask many of them, okay, so what do we need to do? They are preaching to you and telling you, oh, you must follow the commandments and this and that, and we have gone away from the Most High. And you said, but so what shall we do to return to him? What do they tell you, most of them? Keep the commandments. Bam! That's religion. That is religion. We are not called to religion. We are called to a way. Let us go there. We are called to a way. John 14:6. Yahusha saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If you had known me, you should have known my Father also, and from henceforth you know him and have seen him. What Yahusha is saying here, that he is the way. And we're going to look at the way. And he says, if you had known me, so the way is actually knowing Yahusha. Then when you know Yahusha, then you would know the Father. He is the way to the Father. No man cometh to the Father but by me, but through me. So the thing about the way, let's look at the meaning of the way. The way. Very, very instructive. G3598. The way. It's the Greek word hodos, apparently a primary word, a road, by implication, a progress. The route, act or distance, figuratively a mode or means, journey or highway. So Yahusha is the road that takes you to the Father. Yeah? He is the route that you travel to go to the Father. Yes? He is the mode or means of attaining unto the Father. That's what we are called to. Yes? And the thing is, when you do that, then you would obey the law of the Most High. It's a very intricate thing. You can obey the law, but not follow Yahusha. You can, let me say it again. You can obey the law, but disobey Yahusha, but not follow Yahusha. But you cannot follow Yahusha, you cannot obey Yahusha, you cannot walk as Yahusha walked and not obey the law. Yes? When you have the faith of Yahusha, when you have the emunah of Yahusha, then you would follow the commands of the Father. Let me show you. Let me get out of this nest here. Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahuwah and the emunah of Yahusha. When you have the emunah of Yahusha, let me get this thing here. It's in, it's in John 14, is it? Let me get it. Sorry. John 15. So if we follow Yahusha, this is what's going to happen. Look at it. If ye keep my commandments, if you follow me, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. So if you keep his commandments, you will abide in his love. You will walk as he walked. Yes? And we're going to see what abide means, abiding in him. Okay? Even as I have kept my Father's commandment and abide in his love. So when you follow Yahusha, you will automatically have to follow his Father's commandments, because walking as he walked after his Father's commandments. So if you do anything different, it means that you are not following Yahusha. Okay? 1 John 2, verse 6 reinforces that. He that saith he abideth in him, all right, ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked. So as he walked, you will follow his commandments. But let's go back. Let's not go off. Let's go back to John 14:6. When he says, no man cometh unto the Father but by me. Now, when people are coming to you and asking, what should we do? And you're telling them, go and keep the law. Go and follow the law. Eh? Oh, go wear your fringes. Go put on this. Women, wear your skirts long. Women, cover your head. All those things are good. Don't think I'm talking about against those things, because those are things that I preach as well. But when people come to me asking me what to do, what do I tell them? Follow Yahusha in obedience to his Father's commandments. Follow Yahusha comes first. Because when you follow him, you will look to obey. Yes? And your hearts will be transformed. Your hearts will be circumcised. So your conscience will become a good conscience. You will now become tender-hearted, compassionate, merciful, forgiving. Why do you think the Hebrew Israelites, for example, I wasn't at the scriptures. Why do you think the Hebrew Israelites cannot accept love your enemies? Why do you think they have to hate, 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 hate? Because they do not have Yahusha, the compassion of Yahusha, who said, forgive them, they know not what they do. They don't know that compassion because it's law first. Anyway, this could go on all day, all year. There's so many to it. Let me see how I can quickly speed through it. All right, John 14:6, no man cometh unto the Father, but by me. The word by there. No man cometh unto the Father, but by me. Let's look at what that by there means. Where did I get it? Yes, by. G12:23. It is the Greek word dia, a primary preposition denoting the channel of an act. The channel. So he is the channel that leads you to the Father. Through, in very wide applications, local, causal, or occasional. So Yahusha causes you to get to the Father. Through him, you have to go to get to the Father. Yeah? And it has a lot of meanings. I won't even go into them, but that is enough to get us to understand what we are talking about. Okay? Hey, we have to go through him. So how can I be telling people to go keep the law, keep the law? How are you going to keep the law? To do what? To get to who? To get to who? Who are you getting to? Because no man cometh to the Father but through Yahusha. Tell the people about Yahusha. Pronounce, confess, believe, truly believe in Yahusha. And many of them will tell you, by the way, many of them will tell you that they believe in Yahusha. Oh, we believe in Yahusha. Yeah, we believe in the Messiah. Because many a time I hear them speaking with Christians and that is what they're saying. But why do Christians have to be asking them that? Because the Christians don't see Yahusha in them. Yes? Yahusha has to be seen in us. That is how we confess him, by our behavior, by our speech, by our declaring him, and believing in him means we walk as he walked. Otherwise, we are hypocrites. If I am here declaring Yahusha and every day I'm not chasing after Yahusha, I might not perfect him as yet, but I'm chasing after him. I'm seeking him. If I keep speaking about him and not seek him, it means I'm a hypocrite. And the Most High despises hypocrites. All right? People who say one thing and do another. That is a liar. And he says, all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire. Anyway, so there's this huge similarity between the Hebrew Israelites and the Pharisees of old. The Pharisees of old, many of them believed in Yahusha, but they did not confess him. Why? Because they loved the praises of man more than the praises of Allah. They never wanted to be thrown out of the synagogues, etc. They didn't want to suffer for Yahusha. That's it. To suffer for the name of Yahusha. This has been spoken about so much by the prophets in the New Testament. Suffering for the name of Yahusha. That is our problem. We do not want to suffer. And so what do? We go and we choose religion. Do this and you are okay. That's not it. You have to suffer for Yahusha, as it says many times in the scripture. All right? So Yahusha said it, Matthew 10:34. Do we confess Yahusha? Matthew 10:32. Do we confess Yahusha? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Because Yahusha said, whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in Shamaim. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. So, what is this confess? Let's see if we can get the meaning of it. I don't think there are many meanings to it. Confess, G36, 70. Confess. homologio, from a compound of the base of G3674 and G3056 to assent, that is covenant, acknowledge, confess, profess. Confession is made, give thanks, promise. This is one that I like, profess. To profess is to go around and speak about him, not only in words, but also in deed. In deed. Because Hamashiach said we must abide in him and walk as he walked. 1 John 2:6 said, he that saith he abideth in him must walk as he walked. To profess, to declare or admit openly or freely, to declare in words or appearances only. Yes? So you will not only speak it, but you will also manifest it in how you operate, how you appear to others. Okay? So most people don't profess him. They will speak that he exists. Yeah? And the Apostle Shaul told us in Romans 10, verse 9, that this is how we are saved. Romans 10, verse 9. But what saith it in verse 8? The word is nigh thee, even in thy word and in thy heart. That is the word of faith. Emunah, which we preach, is about faith. That is why Shaul was speaking about the works of the law. A similar thing was taking place. A similar thing was taking place with the Pharisees of old. Yes? They were following the law, but they didn't have the faith. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Master Yahusha, and shalt believe in thy heart that Allah hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. So you speak it out of your mouth. So when you're on the street and you're telling them about go and keep the law, you have to confess it. And not only confess, you have to profess it in how you behave. And in how you behave will manifest whether or not you also believe. You have to, it's an action. We tell Christians all the while, believing is manifested in action. It's the same thing. Confession and belief are together with action. And you have this group called IUIC. They are distancing themselves even more and more from Yahusha. More and more law, and less focus on Hamashiach. Very, very, very sad. But why is it though? Yahusha is the stumbling stone. The stumbling stone. Yahusha Hamashiach. And it was prophesied in Isaiah. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to both the houses of Yasharal, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. This was prophesying of Yahusha. All right? 1 Peter 2 tells us in the New Testament that this is manifested in Yahusha. Ye also as lively stones, verse 5, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Allah by Yahusha HaMashiach. Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Unto you therefore which believe he is precious, those of us who are walking after him, seeking after him, following him, seeking to walk as he walked. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed. So it's a stumbling stone, an offensive rock to those which stumble at the word, because they are disobedient. And I'm telling you something, those people at IUIC, and all those Hebrew Israelites, many of them, but IUIC in particular, stumbling at the word. Man, they will tell you baptism is the word. It's the craziest doctrine I've ever heard. They don't believe in baptism. And baptism is the initiation into the new covenant. They believe we are in the new covenant. Some of the Hebrew Israelites believe we are not in the new covenant. It is a whole mess. Why? Because they are not following after Yahusha. Every man does according to his own heart, or what they say, or what they agree on together, and whatever. They are not seeking after Yahusha. So they are being led astray. Okay? Stumbling on that stumbling stone, Yahusha HaMashiach. Now, we're going to show you the law, because they will tell you, oh, you have to keep the law. We have to speak about this, all right? Because the Apostle Shaul spoke about it in the book of Philippians. He told us the things that we are boasting on, we are Israelites, and we are this, and we have the law, and we know the law, and we follow the law. He's showing us and telling us that that is garbage, dung, compared to the knowledge of Yahushua HaMashiach. People, we are not talking foolishness here. It's all about Yahusha. It's all about chasing him. We cannot be perfected and ready for the Father unless we become like him. He's the firstborn among many brethren, firstborn among many brethren. We are his brethren. So he's the firstborn, so we too have to attain like unto him, to seek him, to be like him. He told us that if we do not have the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, we cannot inherit the kingdom. What is the righteousness of the scribes of the Pharisees? It says if we cannot exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, we cannot enter the kingdom. So the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees is embedded in the law, in them keeping the law. We have to exceed that. And this is what Shaul is going to tell us now in the book of Philippians chapter 3. Let us go to Philippians chapter 3 and to see that this that they are telling our people on the corners, law. Yes, we must obey the law. I strive to obey the law as much as I can. Yes, I don't eat pork. I keep the feast. I don't shave my beard. I wear fringes. I do whatever they say to do. I do it. But I'm not going to be out there pushing the law. Because I have come to realize, before I get to Philippians, I have come to realize that if the person is not changed, no matter what you do, Shaul said at one time, even if I give my body to be burnt and have not love, I am nothing. And where is that love? In Yahusha, through Yahusha. It's through Yahusha, it works love and the perfection of love. So no matter what you do, no matter what sacrifice, you could fast from now till thy kingdom come, 40 days and 40 nights. And you're not changed inside. You do not have the love of Hamashiach in you. You are nothing. So no matter how much law you keep, your fringes could be long. That is why Yahusha said they broaden their phylacteries. Yes? You could keep the law to the excess. If you are not changed inside to have the likeness of Yahusha, you are wasting your time. Hey, Philippians 3, verse 1. Let Shaul say to us, finally, my brethren, rejoice in the Master. To write the same things to you, to me indeed is not grievous, but for you it is safe. Beware of dogs, beware of evil workers, beware of the concision. This is the concision. Beware of the Hebrew Israelites who are telling you about the law. This is beware of the Pharisees, beware of the Sadducees, beware of the scribes, those who hold to the law and reject Yahusha. For we are the circumcision which worship Alua in the Ruach, and rejoice in Hamashiach Yahusha, and have no confidence in the flesh. Notice the three things. We worship Alua in the Ruach. We rejoice in Yahusha HaMashiach, and we have no confidence in the flesh. All right? So we don't go around every time talking about Yasharal every day. Yes, you can be Yasharal, but it is not all Yasharal who are of Yasharal. Not because you're an Israelite, that doesn't mean that you will be saved. It's a righteous remnant, a small righteous remnant that you have to try to make sure you are in that remnant. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh. If any man thinketh that he hath, whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. Shaul now is going on to list his accolades, things that some of us he cannot even speak today. He's going to tell you that this is nothing to him compared to a Mashiach. Circumcised the 8th day of the stock of Yasharal, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee. Concerning zeal, persecuting the assembly, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. So the righteousness that is in the law that we're sending people to seek after, Shaul was blameless in it, but yet he was not perfected. Just as a rich young ruler, when he came to Yahusha and asked Yahusha what, Yahusha told him about the commandments, he says, I've done all of those. But he knew that there was something inside him that was missing. Yahusha said, go sell all you have and give to the poor and come and follow me. Then he went away very sad. This is the same thing today. We have to give up everything because we cannot follow Yahusha with luggage, because the luggage is going to pull us down and pull us back into the world. Eh? Concerning zeal, all right, we did that. But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Hamashiach. All of those things, I throw them away. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahusha, my master, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach. Nah? Everything is foolishness, garbage, crap, that I may win him, that I may be like him, that I may attain unto his standard, and be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law. When we're sending people, when people come to us on the corner and we say, what shall we do? And we say, go keep the law. We're telling people, go and stand in your own righteousness. No wonder when you watch the Hebrew Israelite channel, they curse, they're aggressive, they are proud, you can't even say anything that they don't like. They are every single thing of a sinful man, no difference. The only thing is that they speak a different thing. They speak about the word. And to make it worse, they will have great knowledge, just like the Pharisees had great knowledge. And you would be deceived in that knowledge and be following them. This man has knowledge, and you're following that man, not knowing that man is leading you along the wrong path. Yes? They have great knowledge, but then they will just twist with one or two, and you will get to see that they are wrong. That is how it works. We have to be striving for truth at all times, and the only way to find truth is to follow the way, the truth, and the life. Without Hamashiach, we are nothing. Hey, and be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law. But here's the righteousness that we have to find. But that which is through the faith of Yahusha, of Hamashiach, the righteousness which is of Alua, by faith. It is by that faith, believing, confessing him, believing in him, walking as he walked, living as he lived, suffering as he suffered, rejoicing in tribulation, patient in suffering as he did, loving your enemy, all those teachings that he gave, follow them. Follow them. Turn the other cheek, all of those, strive to follow them. And you will find him. You will find him. That I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings. So Shaul is saying that he wants to partake of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death, trying to be like him unto his death, to even die like him. That's the difference. It's a whole different thing, telling people to go keep law. It's a whole different world, because this is how the soul can be perfected and overcome the evil one. I can keep the law and not overcome the evil one. Yes? I can keep the law and still be angry with my brethren, hating my brethren, despising my brethren. Yeah? that I may know him. Let me read the last 3 verses together. And be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Hamashiach, the righteousness which is of Alua by faith, that I may know him, and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformable unto his death, if by any means I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead. This is it. Any means I might resurrect with the dead. This is not religion. And he said, if by any means I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead, a very big core of our belief is resurrection of the dead. So let's go and see Shaul tell us and confess to us that he is a follower of the way, because he is the one who is the center point of all of this modern belief, this New Testament belief. So when Shaul was being interrogated, he said, but this I confess unto thee, that after the way, they call heresy, so worship I the Alua of our fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets, and have hope toward the Alua, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and the unjust. So after the way, right? Following the way makes him also believe all things happening in the written in the law and the prophets. That's what I said from the beginning. It is the way first, Yahusha first, which will lead us automatically to follow the Torah. It's not the Torah first. If you put the Torah first, you're going to kick Yahusha out of the way. Remember, I told you that. Because when things get challenging, you are going to draw for the Torah over Yahusha. Why do you think so many people today are going Old Testament only? Yahusha has become a stone of stumbling. They cannot live their carnal lives in peace because their conscience is bothering them with Yahusha. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. And they find that themselves that they cannot do it. So what do they say? Get rid of that thing. New Testament is garbage. New Testament was written by pagans. New Testament was written by this Roman man. New Testament is a lie. New Testament is this. Because they get to rest in their carnality. I know the difference with Yahusha. Because striving after Yahusha has changed me. Changed me. If I was seeking after the law, remember I told you this. If I was seeking after the law, I would still be walking as a sinful man. Because I would find things in the law to justify me and my sinfulness. But Yahusha, hey, he works on my conscience every day almost. You cannot do that. Every day. You cannot do that. That's not right. Yahusha would not do that. All of those things. It's a huge world of difference. But people hold on to the law. So to be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but the righteousness which is through the faith of Yahusha HaMashiach. And so that is the difference between Hebrew Israelites and the way. The way is the way we were called to follow. There is no new way. There was no prophesy that there would be Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew Israelitism is a religion. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Rastafarianism. Rastafarianism is a religion that came up out of Jamaica, I think in the 1930s, as an answer for the people there who rejected this white Jesus Christ. So they wanted a black Jesus Christ, they gave us Selassie. Hebrew Israelite is an answer to the struggles and the sufferings of our brothers in the United States and an awakening as to who they are. Now, coupled with the struggles and the sufferings, they created a religion out of it so that they can have the upper hand and use it as a tool again of revenge against the persons who persecuted them. But we are not called to do that. We are called to be like lambs to the slaughter, to be passive, because the Most High despises the nations, but in any nation, him that worketh righteousness and believes in Yahuwah, has faith in Yahuwah, is accepted of him. So he doesn't respect the nation, but he will respect the individuals. He's no respect of person, but I don't want to use the word respect, but he will accept, yes, sorry, no respect. He will accept the persons, the individuals from within a nation that has been condemned. That is the Most High. And that is something that our brothers cannot understand about the Most High. All right? So that is Hebrew Israelitism. It is a false religion. We are called to follow the way. If you want more instructions on the way, check out our website, justaword.org. That website has everything that you need to follow the way. And it's so funny because the way is so close to what the Hebrew Israelites preach. So close, yet so far. Because we preach the same thing, almost. We are the chosen children of Yasharal. The Bible is about us. We will be gathered in the end. But what we preach, the strangers will be joined to us, but the strangers who join to us and serve us have to be saved. That's the difference. And so we do not despise a nation because it is a nation. Yes? We might despise the wicked because we are called to have disdain for the wicked. But if there's someone from a wicked nation who wants to join themselves to us and confess and repent, hey, we believe that that is acceptable unto Allah. That's the difference. Yes? So we don't believe that everybody is going to be equal, everybody going to be one. Just like the Hebrew Israelites, these strangers shall be joined with them, and the house of Yasharal shall possess them for servants and handmaids. We believe that. Okay? But please, there's a big difference with the way. The difference is the righteousness that is required of us, the perfection that is required of us, and that is what you need to know. All right? So this is Kazak Aliyahu here from Just a Word. Thank you all for listening and watching. And until next time, shalom. Please share our videos with someone. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe if you have not subscribed. Shalom.